Reggie had dealt with the Grub Queen, nothing had disturbed the miners. But now, they whisper of a legendary giant. Reggie believed the Mudworm was a long-dead creature of rat-pup tales, made out to be giant, but only half the size of a cow grub. Reggie was wrong. These mudworms could have eaten a Calgrub and still asked for monster guts was not how Reggie expected today to go. Still, the head of a legendary mudworm to adorn his royal bedchamber would be no small reward. Grub King had been sighted in the mines, no doubt in search of his queen. Reggie wondered how best to break the news to him. Probably with a sword. The Crimson Keep was playing host to the traveling squirrel folk on their annual pilgrimage to the Bright Fir. They honored the young king with an invite to their Leaf's Fall Festival, the first outsider to be asked to this mysterious gathering in generations. Reggie was pleased to take some time away from battle to experience the wonder of the Great Golden Woods. Reggie was greeted by the squirrel guide Zazu at the forest edge. She'd been sent to show the king the way to the festival, a secret path known only by squirrel folk. The forest was not at all what the young king expected. He'd heard the Bright Fir's golden leaves bathed the entire forest in light. There'd been no mention of these giant mushrooms that made the air heavy with spores. The Bright Fir's golden light fell on the forest clearing and caravans like an enchantment. The mood, though, was not festive, but worried. Zazu, embarrassed, explained the reason they asked the brave young king here was to plead for his help. The squirrel elder and a priest of the Bright Fir journeyed to the abandoned glimmer mines to harvest bright moss, and had not returned. With the golden light of the camp behind him, Reggie headed back out into the gloom in search of the mines. Signs were not promising. Outside the Glimmer Mines were vicious beetles. What had driven them from their cave home? The Squirrel Folk were in more danger than they knew. The Squirrel Elder's walking cane, lying abandoned. If he didn't have it, Reggie wondered, how did he carry himself from this place? The rocks of the Glimmer Mines glowed with a blue light unlike anything Reggie had ever seen. Reggie wondered what the moles would make of this place. The Squirrel Elder's lifeless body lay on the floor. The priest at his side. Before Reggie could approach, he found out why they were trapped here. This was the nest of the Beetle Queen. Reggie approached the still body of the Squirrel Elder. The Squirrel Elder rose with a yelp. He'd been entranced from the ritual smoking of extra potent bright moss. Unaware, he almost became the Beetle Queen's snack. Thanking Reggie for the rescue, they headed back to begin the festival. This market stall sells all sorts of quality goods. A few coins spent here would spruce up the Crimson Keep nicely. With the Squirrel Elder back at the Bright Fir, with a tankard of bright sap in his paw, the festival of Leaf's Fall could finally begin. No sooner had the Elder raised his cup into the air to begin his opening speech, came the clattering of wood and smashing of glass. To everyone's horror, a drunken squirrel had knocked over the table with the bright sap. The festival of Leaf's Fall could not continue without the rare and sacred drink. The Squirrel Elder turned to Reggie, asking if the brave young king would again save their festival and venture into the shrine of the tapped root to collect more bright sap. In the maze of bright fir roots, the spores were so thick Reggie had to wear his gas mask. Was this infestation the reason the bright firs were dying? The shrine of the tapped root stood before him, but the root looked damaged. Before Reggie could wonder what had done this, he got his answer. A root worm, bloated and enraged by bright sap. Had been banished from these parts for generations. Reggie had a feeling its presence meant something was rotten in the state of Bright Fir. To Reggie's dismay, the tap was broken. Reggie did not look forward to returning to the Squirrel Elder with no sacred sap and news of rootworms. shocked at the news, the Squirrel Elder had an idea. The tap was one of several made in the basement woodsmith workshop of Castle Dre. Perhaps Reggie could look there.